Hey, hi everyone. In this video, we'll try to configure CSP so that it is production ready. So I have the same index.html, which is now getting served from this Node.js server with the nonce, and I have now added this malicious script. So if we reload the UI, we see that it is getting blocked, and this is expected because our actual script is having the nonce with string dynamic, but whenever we see the response, that malicious script is not having the nonce. So this is expected. But whenever this kind of injections are happening, this is happening at the user end, right? And as an administration or whoever has deployed this app, they should be able to understand like if any user is facing some cross-site scripting. So how that can be done? So we need to enable reporting for CSP. To enable reporting for CSP, we need to add few more things to the header. The first thing we need to add is a report to directive. So what we can do is we can add a report to directive and we can mention a group. So in this case, let's name it a CSP endpoint. Now, if we reload our UI, nothing changes, but we have the header that is serving a report to a CSP endpoint. Now, this is a group name, and what we need to do is if there is any violation, we should be pushing the report to this group. To do that, we need to use another header, and that is called report to header. Now, this report to header basically includes few details. For example, the first is the group. So whenever we have defined report to the group name, so here we define the group name followed by the maximum age, that is till how much time the browser should remember this configuration, and then the endpoint. So whenever some violations is happening, we are mentioning that report this to this group, which will basically be this group, and then it will define the endpoint. In this case, this refers to the endpoint of our app where it is running. And this also includes the subdomain. So if we use this configuration, if we save and reload our UI, we see that the request is blocked as expected. If we look at our header, now apart from the nonce and our string dynamics, we have the report to CSP endpoint. And then we have the report to header, which is having this configuration. Now, if we look into our log, so whenever I'm now hitting the request, obviously this malicious.com is getting refused to apply because this is not having the nonce, so it is not trusted. And we also see it in the log. And we also do see it in our Node.js server as log. So if I just reload the UI again, this is blocked due to CSP, and we will see that our server has actually logged that. And the log also in the log includes like which URL was logged and what was the effective directive that we had. For example, we had this policy, that the original policy. So this is what is being reported in our server. The reporting is obviously happening because we have added our extra piece of code in our server where we are checking that if there is a post message, we just check whatever the data that is coming in our server. This comes as a post request internally from the browser. Now, let me comment you. So if we reload our UI, we obviously see that this is blocked. And now maybe that is, this script is actually required by our app, right? As soon as we introduce a CSP, and if a script downloading is blocked, the app might crash, right? Because it might use the JavaScript to do some task. So before introducing a CSP, what we can do is actually, we can introduce one more flag instead of content security policy, and we call it content security policy report only. And now, if we have the same thing, we'll just remove the reporting endpoint. Now, once we have enabled the report only flag, we reload our UI, we see that the JavaScript loading is not blocked now, right? It is allowed to load. But if we look into our console, we reload the UI again. If we look into our console, we see that we are getting a log stating that the script is, that it is refusing to download the script. So report only will report what are the scripts that are not getting downloaded, but it will actually allow to download. It will not impose the rule, but it will just give you the log. So this is helpful when we are in development stage and we have just introduced a CSP. So it gives us an overview that what are the scripts that the app is internally loading, and based on that, we can refine our content security policy. Thank you.